Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel. And today we're going to be looking at a relatively new product, and that is Pierced by Simon Lipkin and ALAKAZAM Magic. This is a very fun and good product that I think is going to interest some, but I think because of the price point, it may detract some of you from actually purchasing it. But whether you want to get it or you're on the fence, I'm going to give you all the information that you need to know before buying Pierced by Simon Lipkin. So let's roll the intro and get straight into it. Perfect, so decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about Pierced by Simon Lipkin. So what is it? Pierced by Simon Lipkin is essentially a Russian roulette that uses pins. So it's simple as that in terms of premise and what it is. Now, I'll do a quick performance for you so you get a gist of the effect, but I won't do kind of a really good, fully fledged theatrical performance for you because there's a ton and a ton of them online. I think there's at least 3 full professionally shot performances on YouTube, and then there's over like 50 of them in the Blackpool videos that you've probably watched when they came out on YouTube. So there's a ton of places that you can actually see this perform. So I'll do a quick one like this. So you would introduce the premise. You're going to say we're going to actually play a game where you're going to be taking all of the decisions. And what I have here in this tin is an object that you may recognize. So I have here some of these. Do you know what these are? The spectator can say yes, no, and you say, yeah, they're pins. And essentially these are pins that are props. So some of them, as you can see, are fully retractable. So some of them are retractable, but one of them, as you can see, is very sharp and very solid. And you can actually see that all the rest are indeed retractable. But the thing is, if I were to place them on the table like this, you'd know which is which, because you would know that the normal pin is right here. But if I were to place, for example, 2 of them here and ask you which is the normal pin, you'd probably say it's the one on top. But if I were to do this and mix everything up, kind of just like that, you would have no clue between the pins which of these now is actually the one that is tricked. So what we're going to do is we're going to place them just like this. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to just get a sense of them and pick up one. So pick any one of them that you want and place it in my hand. This one? Excellent. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take this just like that. And we're going to go straight underneath my nail, just like this. 1, 2, and I want you to just slightly push my finger. 3, and we're good. A fully retractable one. Now we're going to do it again, but this time I want you to be sure. Instinctively just go and grab one by the stem. They go this, I say excellent. Place out your hand. The spectator will place their hand and you say, look, on 3 I just want you to push down on your hand. 1, 2, 3, and just like that, that is fully retractable. Now, we're going to make this a bit different because we're left with just 2, so I don't want you to kind of intuit which is which. So we're just going to shake everything back up a bit, just like that, and dump everything outside of the box. So now what you're going to do is the following. You're going to take one, place it in my hand, and the other one is going to be left on the table. So which one do you want to place in my hand? This one. Let's say excellent. So what we're going to do with the next one is this. We're going to take it, and we're going to go right here under my eye. And hopefully this is not the real one. And there we go. This one is fully retractable. And I'm happy that you took all of the decisions because, of course, the last one that you left here is, of course, the only one that is completely real. And everything can be examined. Now, that is the main routine of Pierced. Everything goes back inside of the box just like this, and you are now reset to go again. So that is the main routine of Pierced. Again, I told you I didn't do the entire presentation and everything else that would go into it to build the effect, to make it more dramatic, but you get an idea of what you're getting with this. So now that you know what it is, let's talk about where you buy this, how much does it cost, and what do you get. So you can buy this exclusively from ALAKAZAM Magic. It's going to set you back 125 USD, which is I think around 100 something pounds, which is in Canadian dollars $190. So this is a very expensive prop that you're getting, and what you get with your box is this. With your purchase is you're going to get this little box. It's a magnetic flap. This is kind of the trend now. After Penguin kind of pioneered it, every company is doing this. Inside of here, you're going to of course get your video tutorial, which is around 1 hour and 20 minutes with Simon Lipkin and Peter Nardi talking over the routine. But out of those 120 minutes, almost 35 minutes is just presentations and performances. So more than half of the tutorial is just performances and alternative versions and performances for those, and the rest is some fun ideas that you can do. The card is not included, but then you're also going to get a sticker for your tin. You're also going to get your metallic tin. This metallic tin is very important for the routine. It will let you do a few things to achieve the effect. And then you're also going to get 5 normal pins and 5 gimmicked pins. And the reason you get 5 and 5 is because you can do the routine flipped on its head. So instead of having all of them retract and the last one be solid, you can have a very nice routine where each spectator picks up one, and then the last one that's left on the table, you say, okay, so all of you have picked it up and kept one for you that's not for me. The only one you've left on the table, I'm going to take and shove in my eye. Hopefully you did a correct choice, because I've never told you from the start, but one of these is retractable, and hopefully it's this one. Boom, you shove it in your eye, it's retractable, and then when they look at the one in their hand, they're all normal. And they give you a ton of other variations. You can do it with numbers. You know, they say, look, we're going to have here number 1 to 5. Boom, boom, boom. You can stab stuff inside. And then the last one that's left is the singular one that is kind of the retractable. They give you a love and dead test, kind of a love and hate test, which is fun as well. So you're going to get a ton of routines and the props. And I'll also show you the props here again. The tin is very well made. It does what it's supposed to do pretty well. Then you also get here, let me show you the difference. So these are the ungimmicked pins. And this is the ungimmicked, and this is the gimmick. So those are gimmicked is what I meant to say. You can see these look almost identical. Like even me right now, these look identical. And one of them is retractable and one of them is very solid. So they look great. They're heavy brass. So these are heavy when you pick them up. You can actually feel the weight of them. They're also marked. So from this distance, for example, I can easily tell which is which. Even if we were to mix them on the table like this and just have them on the table, I know immediately I could take this one and shove it in my hand because I see the marking. The marking is very quick and very easy to understand. So the pins are great, the box is great, the props that you get are very high quality, and they do what they're supposed to do essentially for the price tag. So now that you know all of this, let's talk about how easy it is. So how easy is this to perform? This is pretty easy to perform. I mean, if after maybe 2 minutes of the tutorial, you'll understand how this works. Well, 2 minutes into the part of the explanation, because the first like 30 minutes are performances, but once that's done, you'll understand immediately how it works and you'll be ready to run to the hills, because there really is no danger here. It's almost self-working. I mean, all you have to do is just put an interesting presentation and that's it, because the pins, which are marked, and the box, which helps in the routine, are essentially doing the effect for you. So all you have to do is presentation. The only thing you have to do is in the last phase, when you're essentially having them pick one up and place in your hand, that's the only part of the routine where there's actually danger. And I don't think this is spoiling anything or revealing any methods or anything like that, because this is all said in the live stream that's publicly available on ALAKAZAM's YouTube. So overall, performance-wise, it is very easy to do. It's not that hard. The props basically achieve almost all of the routine for you. It's just important that once you set it up the first time, you remember how it's set up, and then you're good to go. Okay? Now that you know that, what is practicality? What is the practicality of this? The practicality of this is great. In terms of carrying capacity, you just need the tin. So that's it. So you just take the tin and you place it in your pocket and you're good to go. Now keep in mind, it does make quite a lot of noise. So maybe when you're walking around the event, it's going to keep rattling. So that may not be, the most efficient thing. But what you can also do is you can, maybe put the pins in a piece of cloth and then put them inside the tin or whatever. But overall, if you just want to carry this, you just need the tins. You don't even need a card. I just have a card to show the visual of it going in. I like it, and they use it as well in the tutorial. But if you want, you can just have the spectator put their finger. You can use a napkin if you're at a restaurant. You can use a tablecloth. You can even use your shirt if you want. You can just show it goes through your shirt if it's not a very expensive shirt. So, there's a ton of ways to do it without the card. So overall, all you need to perform the effect is this. Then in terms of reset, you saw the reset. It is instant. All you have to do is once you finish the routine, put the pins back in the box and you are reset to go again for your next performance. In terms of the angles are pretty much 360 degrees. In terms of inspectability, the pins are all very inspectable. And if you do everything in a clean and logical way, the box would never need to be inspected whatsoever. But you can also, if you're really scared about the box needing to be inspected, you can easily just dump the pins out like this, take the box, put it, in your pocket, then put the pins, when it's time to put the pins back, you just take everything like this, you place it inside and it goes back into your pocket. So, there's possibilities of not leaving it on the table. I like leaving it on the table because it makes it seem, innocent. If you just do this, you say, okay, look, we've mixed them, dump, place on the table just like this, like you don't care. You place them back later on in the routine. You just close it and place it in your pocket. It doesn't matter, right? People are not going to really want to inspect it, but the box technically is not inspectable. So keep that in mind. And if you need a table, you do not need a table for this. You can easily just do it in the spectator's hands. You can have the pins in their hand or even in your hand and you say, pick one up, stab me in the neck, pick one up, stab me in the ear or whatever. You can easily do it that way as well. Now, let's talk about where do you perform this. So this is really good because it is designed for close-ups. There's a smash and stab designed for close-up, table hopping, casual performances. And that's what I love, because usually smash and stab, you need to be on stage, you need to be in parlor, you need to have, this big budget cups or really big knives or socks or anything you want in order to do it. Whereas this, you just have this little tin and you're good to go. Also, I do want to say that don't underplay the impact of this. Yes, there are just pins, but people know how annoying pins are. And, even when I first performed this to my usual first-time spectators, which are my parents, like, oh, careful when you put these, because, they were on the sofa while I did them. Careful when you put these on the sofa. I don't want to, get one and, sit on one and then have to go to the hospital or whatever. So people understand that these could be dangerous. And if you play it well, I love, this is not in the tutorial, but feel free to use it. I love the idea of the nail, because everyone knows if you shove that pin in your nail, it's probably going to go deep and shove your nail out. It's going to be absolutely disgusting, So if you play that well, the under the nail could be disgusting. The eye could be disgusting. If you're really scared about it, yes, you could use just the hand and mitigate damage. But I love to do, personally, the way that I usually do it in performance is I do the nail, then I do the spectator's hand, and then I do the eye. Or I sometimes do the spectator's hand. I say, oh, so for the first one, you're going to do it. Just to make sure that we're safe because it's the safest choice. Boom, it works. And then I do the nail and then I do the eye. So that could be something as well. But those are the two places that I usually do on my body. Because I feel they're the most disgusting rather than doing, as they do in the trailer, kind of inside the arm here and inside the palm. I think those are fine. But I do think these ones, people are a bit squirmy. When you put it next to the nail and you push, people are like, ugh. And to me, it plays well. But overall, that is to say that you can play it anywhere close up, but you can also do it on stage. They give you stage routines where you can have it, where spectator, you can have the pins in your hand. You each Each spectator brings out a pin, and then you say excellent. So what we're going to do is you from the audience point to one person. That person right there, excellent. You stab me in the neck with the pin that you have. Boom. It's a retractable one. Go back to your seat. So you can play it as a big stage routine as well. They give you a few ideas of how to do it. So essentially you can play this pretty much anywhere. So now that we've discussed all of that, what are the positives and negatives of pierced? First, let's go with the negatives. One of the negatives is that the box is one of the main pieces of the routine. And sometimes because of the shuffling and the working of it, it will sometimes be a bit kind of, it's going to function properly, but maybe you're going to need to hold everything a bit more tightly, or, you know, I don't want to say too much, but you're going to be a bit more restrained in how you use it because things may shuffle themselves in certain ways that are unpredictable. So do keep that in mind, that sometimes you may have a bit of noise when putting the box down if things are not as they are supposed to be 100%, which can happen due to you actually mixing up the pins in the box, okay? And that is pretty much the only negative that I have for this. You know, I'm not going to complain about the price because this did take a lot of money and time to produce. You know, I believe them when they tell you the prices that these were being estimated on, and they almost gave up on the production. I believe on that. So, you know, I understand how hard it is to put a spring-loaded trap in something this big made out of brass. I fully understand it. So overall, my only negative is the box may sometimes not be exactly 100%. And also I do want to say that, you know, they give you this sticker that's going to help you in the routine, but they only give you one. And the sticker that I got was uncut. So I don't know if they forgot to cut it or if it was a misprint. It was uncut. So essentially I had to forcefully remove it from the filament because it was permanently glued on there. And as you can see, it kind of ripped a bit and it's bubbly a bit, and it's not the most aesthetically pleasing sticker. So I think maybe having 2 or 3, if ever you wanted to change, would have been a good idea, but I digress. Now, in terms of the positives, it's a very fun routine. It's ultimately 100% safe. Even if you don't clock the markings, they give you a brilliant idea. You know, I'll just show you here. So let's say, I think this is actually I'll just dump all of them just like that. So this is the normal one, and they say that if ever you're somewhere dark and you can't see the markings, you know, it's very easy, as you say. So do you want to take this one or this one? Just by gently tapping with your finger, you feel which one retracts. You immediately feel. So as you're talking, check, do you want this one or this one? You immediately know which is which. So even if you don't see the marking, you have a fail-safe. So this routine will never hurt you. It's 100% safe, which is what you want from a routine such as this. It's commercial, it's fun, it's easy to carry around, can be done anywhere, 360 degrees. The presentations are endless. You can switch it up. You can do whatever you want. There's a ton of positives for this. So overall, would I recommend pierced, and what do I give it out of 10? I think that if you're looking for a portable smash and stab routine that does not need a table, can be done in the hands and is easily understood and goes easily, you know, is easily explained to your spectators, I think this is one of the best on the market. Yes, it is expensive. Yes, it costs, but also the props are extremely well made. They should last a very long time. They're really good props. The routine is foolproof. So I think that if you have the money to invest in this for a smash and stab that's portable, go ahead and do it. I'm definitely pleased with my purchase. I think it's great. I'm giving Pierced by Simon Lipkin a 9.25 on 10. So that's all I have to say about it. If you have any additional questions, leave them down below. If not, I'll see you all in my next review. Have a good one, and bye-bye.